incurable diseases. If the babies have this incurable diseases in their country, the medical attention means there's a scant medical attention, means it's a very merely, they do not have this medical like doctors or nurses. Availability was very less in that time. So that's the reason they're saying it's better instead of having any kind of diseases which is uncurable. Okay, with the death of my brother. So we know in last class we came to know that his brother died when he was 7 years old, right? But Lobsang Rampa was 4 years that time. With the death of my brother, it became necessary to have my studies intensified. Means what? Because now he is the heir. So intensified means they want their studies to go little more focused than usual. Because when I was 7 years of age, I should have to enter upon training for whatever career the astrologers suggested. Astrologers means they would project, I mean, what is going to happen in future. He's going to do, he's going to become this, that. That's how astrologers work. So in Tibet, everything is decided by astrology. Means everything, like they will look at about the future, what is going to happen. Based upon that, everything is decided. From where? From the buying of a yak. Even if they want to buy a cow, they would do the decision about one's career. Now, the time was approaching just before my 7th birthday. 1 second, ma. Okay.
Hello.
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 Yes.
This is Aradhan.
Yeah, Aradhan.
How if the baby is in the cold water, it couldn't breathe, no?
That is what it was there. That is what the procedure they used to follow. It's not like they're not going to dip the body completely. You see, remember, like we have read that the baby's head and mouth are exposed to the air. Only this part will be out of the water, and the remaining part from neck, everything is immersed in the water. Okay. So even with that, because the water is very cold, it's like icy. That's the reason the baby turns from red. So even when we go out, when it is very freezy, what will be, our cheeks will turn as red. Correct. So that's how. Yeah. So the baby turns from red to blue, and then it stops crying. Okay. So let's see.
Okay.
What happened.
Thank you.
No worries. Okay, where were we? Now the time was approaching just before my 7th birthday, when mother would give a really big party to which nobles and others of high rank would be invited to hear the forecast of the astrologers. So this time, before his 7th birthday, they would give a really big party because the astrologers are going to predict his future, what he's going to be. So that is a big ceremony. That's a big thing in their place. Okay, so mother was decidedly plump. It's like he's telling his mom was little chubby. She had a round face and black hair. Tibetan women wear a sort of wooden framework on their head. It's like wooden, with a wooden structure, and over this, the hair is wrapped to make it as ornamental as possible. So they would make it wrapped with the hair. These frames were very elaborate affairs. They were frequently of crimson lacquer. It's a kind of reddish color, studded with semi-precious stones and inlaid with jade and coral. So different kinds of stones. It's like kind of decorative ornament for ladies. Where, with well-oiled hair, the effect was very brilliant. So if the ladies who are wearing this kind of ornament, they'll have their hair oily so that it looks very well. Tibetan women use very gay clothes with many reds and greens and yellows. Miss, so like he's telling, like Tibetan women always wear happy colors like reds, greens, and yellows. So it's like vibrant. In most instances, there would be an apron of one color with a vivid horizon. They're now discussing about how the ladies' attire will be. So they'll have an apron first, and it is like it has a vivid horizontal stripe of a contrasting, like they're telling about the colors, how it would be. They'll have a horizontal stripe of a contrasting, I mean, on the sari, it will have a opposite color so that you can see the stripes, but harmonious color. Then there was a earring at the left ear. Earring is here, like the pierce. It's size depending on the rank of the wearer. So even if you have to wear the earring, there is a rank. So we are now lucky masters. We do not have these kind of things, isn't it? We can wear whatever earrings we want. Mother, being a member of one of the leading families, had an earring more than 6 inches long. 6 inches long was his mother was wearing. I don't know how his mother was wearing so long, or probably I'm thinking like it would be painful. We believe that women should have absolutely equal rights with men. So it's so appreciating point. We should appreciate this because they had these equal rights of women and men 100 years ago, masters. So we have to appreciate this. But in the running of the house, mother went further than that and was the undisputed dictator. He's telling like, is Kaya, like her mother was kind of bossy, an autocrat who knew what she wanted and always got it. Autocrat means like she does not take any other opinion. Okay, whatever she says, okay, I'm going to do it. That's it. That's the way his mother was. In the stir and flurry of preparing the house and the grounds for the part, now the party is going to start, because why? Before his 7th birthday, they need to project what is, they need to see what his future is, predict what his future is. So there was organizing to be done, commands to be given, and new schemes to outshine the neighbors to be thought out. So they want to be good, even when compared to neighbors and everything, they have to give the best ceremony for his 6-year-old boy. So she excelled at this, having traveled extensively with father to India, Peking, and Shanghai. She had a wealth of foreign thought at her disposal. So they are telling that her mother, she has got experience because she's traveling much to India, Peking, and Shanghai. So like what happens, masters, if we travel from one place to other place, we'll get so much of knowledge. We'll see, okay, how the other people are, how people here in India there, and how in Peking and how in Shanghai. So that's the reason she has got so much of knowledge. Now, the date having been decided for the party. Now, finally, the date has been decided. Invitations were carefully written out by monk scribes on the thick handmade, which were always used for communications of the highest importance. It's like they're selling. It's like now the date is decided, invitations are, everything is ready. So now let's see. Each invitation was about 12 inches wide by about 2 feet long. So 2 feet long was the invitation. Each invitation bore father's family seal, and as mother also was of upper 10, her seal had to go on as well. So both father's seal means father signature, and mother signature will go on to the invitation. Father and mother had a joint seal, this bringing the total to 3. So there are 3 seals. One father and mother together, 1 seal, and one is only mother signature, and one is father signature. So there are 3 seals. All together, the invitations were most imposing documents. It frightened me. He's telling like, I am getting frightened immensely to think that all this fuss was solely about me. He's telling like, I'm getting worried about it, because like all this first drama which is going on is about me. I did not know that I was really of a secondary importance, and that the social event came first. He's telling I am not important for them, only this precision or which the event which is going to come, that is the first thing for the first priority. That's what he's not happy for that. We want, even during our birthdays, don't you feel, do you feel happy like if you're concentrating only on the birthday party, not on you, we will be sad, isn't it? We need attention, we need attention as well, along with the birthday decorations. So that's what that is why he's saying he's also sad. If I had been told that the magnificence of the party would confer great prestige upon my parents, it would have conveyed absolutely nothing to me. And so I went on being frightened. I understand that this party is very big for my parents, but somehow I am very frightened. We had engaged special messengers to deliver these invitations. Each man was mounted on a thoroughbred horse. Each carried a cleft stick in which was lodged an invitation. The stick was surmounted by a replica of the family coat of arms. The sticks were gaily decorated with printed prayers which waved in the wind. So this is what he's telling, like this horse was, the invitations were like this. This is how the diagram that he has given, like the stick with the invitations, with the family kind of details. And then it was decorated and all these kind of things. There was pandemonium in the courtyard as all the messengers got ready to leave at the same time. The attendants were hoarse with shouting, horses were neighing, and the huge black mastiffs were barking madly. There was a last-minute gulping of Tibetan beer before the mugs were put down with a clatter as the ponderous main gates rumbled open and the troop of men with wild yells galloped out. So all these horses, people were, the horses were ready and everyone started going out with, the messengers started going out from the main gates. In Tibet, messengers deliver a written message, but also given an oral version, which may be quite different. So what they have written, it might not be the same as what they would deliver it. So there are two different messages. They would send both written and also the oral, the verbal thing, how we speak, that is the verbal version. In days of long ago, bandits would waylay messengers and act upon the written message, perhaps attacking an ill-defended house or procession. Sometimes there was the heart attacks when they were going through the roads or in the forest. So we all know that there used to be attacks. It became the habit to write a misleading message, which often lured bandits to where they could be captured. So they would sometimes rewrite the message so that like they can capture more people. This old custom of written and oral messages was a survival of the past. Even now, sometimes the two messages would differ, but the oral version was always accepted as correct. They're telling if the written, because bandits would mess up with the writing things, right? Like because they would write something which they needed. So they say like we prefer, even if there are two versions, like what I am saying and what you have it in the paper, if there is two different, what they will believe is what you are telling, what we are saying, that is what they will believe. They will not accept the written version. That's how they believe. They take their consideration about their verbal speech. Inside the house, everything was bustle and turmoil. Means everything was like, it's like because of this party, it's like everything is like agitated, like okay, what's going on, how is it going to be, like this kind of things were happening. The walls were cleaned and recolored, the floors were scraped, and the wooden boards polished until they were really dangerous to walk upon. Means like, so as usual, like if we see in marriages or everywhere, like we also see like, or for any kind of function, something very special, we also paint our houses and clean it very well. That is what they're also doing here. And they use the wooden boards to walk in their houses rather than any kind of tiles or cement. So here they use the wooden boards. So they used to polish that wooden boards so that it will look good. And they are telling like the boards were polished that were until that they were really dangerous to walk upon. So that's how smooth it was. The carved wooden altars in the main rooms were polished and relacquered, and many new butter lamps were put in use. So everything is new, master. So we all like it, right? When our house gets remodeling or something, so we all like, okay, what's going to be? It's like something festival mood. This is how it's happening. Some of these lamps were gold and some were silver, but they were all polished so much that it was difficult to see which was which. The lamps which they used to light the lamps, those lamps holdings are like few are silver and few are gold as well, it seems, but all are very polished so that everything is glittering. So no one could identify with the glitters, like which is gold, which is silver. Like if they are not able to identify, that's how it's glittering, means that's how it is clean. All the time, mother and the head steward were hurrying around, criticizing here, ordering there, and generally giving the servants a miserable time. They're saying like, we all discuss steward list, who takes the responsibility about the house. If it is a very big house, someone other person will be there so that they can also take care of the house. The steward and the mother, so they were all going here and there and saying like, okay, do this, do that. And they're all ordering the servants, and like the servants are really poor servants, like too much of work because it's a big party for them, big thing. We had more than 50 servants at the time, and others were engaged for the forthcoming occasion. They were all kept busy, but they all worked with a will. So they had 50 servants and they're all busy. 50 servants, they're all busy, it seems. See, but they all worked with a will. Means they wanted to work, so they worked. Even the courtyard was scraped until the stones shone as if newly quarried. The spaces between them were filled with colored material to add to the gap appearance. When all this was done, the unfortunate servants were called before mother and commanded to wear only the cleanest of clean clothes. So he's telling even the courtyard, means the backyard or the lawn where you'll have, so on the back side of the house. So even there, the courtyard, everything was cleaned very well. And the courtyard, like it was made of stones. So they're saying like the stones were also shining. That's how the cleanliness was there. So once all done, so his mother has told the servants that, okay, you have to wear the clean clothes and come. In the kitchens, there was tremendous activity. Food was being prepared in enormous quantities. So it's like in the kitchen also, there was a tremendous activity. What is going on in the kitchen? The food was being prepared. We normally like it, right, masters? In the festivals, what we look forward, apart from playing, we also look forward the yummy, delicious food. That is what is going to happen. Yes. Even I like it. I look forward to. Tibet is a natural refrigerator. Food can be prepared and kept for an almost indefinite time, because it's like naturally, because of the icy nature, the frigid nature, it's always cool because the temperature is very low. They're selling like we don't need any kind of refrigerators. Our Tibet is only a natural refrigerator. So whatever we prepare the food, it does not spoil very easily. So the climate is very, very cold, and also it is dry with it. But even when the temperature rises, the dryness keeps stored food good. Meat will keep for about a year, while
Hello?
Yes?
I can't hear your voice.
You can't hear my voice?
Hello? I can't hear your voice.
Kids, let me know if my voice is audible or not.
Hello.
It's very audible. It is audible, Master.
Aradhana. So Aradhan, so I think there is some problem at your end. Other kids are able to hear. It seems. Can you check your connectivity?
Hila.
Okay, let's keep going on. So while grain keeps for hundreds of years. So Buddhists, so we will have it out here, okay, meat about when they talk about the meat, okay, now they're going to explain about it. Buddhists do not kill. So the only meat available is from animals which have fallen over cliffs or been killed by accident. So they are not going to kill any animals and eat, but they will only eat the meat which is available if the animals have fallen down from cliffs, means kind of mountains or something like that, like, or been by an accident, some kind of accident. So if those kind of dead bodies, they will have, other than that, they will not kill. Our ladders were well stocked with such meat. There are butchers in Tibet, but they are of an untouchable caste, and the more orthodox families do not deal with them at all. Okay, so there are butchers as well to cut the meat. Mothers had decided to give the guests, okay, it's 8:47. I probably will stop another after 3 minutes. Mother had decided to give the guests a rare and expensive treat. She was going to give them preserved rhododendron blooms. It's a kind of rare, they'll explain. Weeks before, servants had ridden out from the courtyard to go to the foothills of the Himalaya, where the choicest blooms were to be found. In our country, rhododendron trees grow to a huge size and with an astonishing variety of colors and scents. Those blooms which have not quite reached maturity are picked and most carefully washed. It's kind of fruits, we can say. Carefully, because if there is any bruising, the preserve will be ruined. So the fruit should not have any kind of bruising, means any kind of peel out or any kind of thing. It should not happen. The fruit should be very well, it should be in a very good position, in a very good condition. Then each flower is immersed in a mixture of water and honey in a large jar with special care to avoid trapping any air. That's a kind of flower, it seems. The jar is sealed, and every day for weeks after, the jars are placed in the sunlight and turned at regular intervals so that all parts of the flower are adequately exposed to the light. This is how they are fermenting. This is kind of fermenting, like they are putting into the jars and keeping it. And this is one kind of cooking process. The flower grows slowly and becomes filled with nectar manufactured from the honey water. Some people like to expose the flower to the air for a few days before eating so that it dries and becomes a little crisp, but without losing flavor or appearance. So we do not know all these kind of things, right, Master? So let's see, these are their dishes. These people also sprinkle a little sugar on the petals to imitate snow. I kind of thinking about this rose petals thing. We can also have kind of called as, in India, it's called as gulkan, I guess. I think it's similar kind of thing. Father grumbled about the expense of these preserves. This telling because these preserves, it's quite expensive, it seems, this process. We could have bought 10 yak with calves for what you have spent on these pretty flowers, he said. He's telling like, okay, it's so expensive what you're doing. We could have bought some 10 yaks with calves rather than having these pretty flowers. Mother's reply was typical of women. Don't be a fool. We must make a show. And anyhow, this is my side of the house. We all know that. Lobsang Rampa already stated that his mother is bossy, isn't it? So he's telling, no, this is my side of the house. So you don't come into it. That's how. Okay. With this, let's stop here and we'll see what's delicious food it's going to be. And let's see in the tomorrow class. Okay. With this, I will open up for our questions, doubts, feedbacks. Yes, Mamata, I'll unmute you.
Sorry, I didn't rename.
Oh, okay, Aradhan. Okay, Aradhan. Yeah, tell me.
You said something rose petal gulkan.
I'm just comparing. It's just a comparison because they are saying like kind of, they're telling that it's a flower, isn't it? They're doing it some kind of flower, putting into the water, and after a few days they will again change the water or do this kind of cooking process. This is called as fermenting kind of thing. So I'm just and they are also stating it's kind of honey kind of water. It will form, and they also put sugar onto it. So it's kind of like we can relate to ourselves to this world by saying like kind of like that kind of thing.
Yes.
It's not, I'm just comparing so that you'll get a knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So anyone else, master? So Ethel. Yes, Ethel. Yeah.
Rampa has a horse.
Yes, he has a pony. Yeah. Do you remember last class with Nakeem?
Okay. Ma'am, he also goes for inviting the cards, putting the cards.
No. He will not go because it is his party, right? So they have the people, messengers. They will be going on horse. He's a very small boy. Because for inviting friends, we will normally our parents will invite for your birthday party, isn't it? Children, please come. That, but in schools nowadays, it's like you will also invite. But normally this is done by adults, not by the kids. Okay.
What does he do to the roof?
Which one?
What does he do to the roof?
What does he go to the roof?
Do to the roof.
Roof. It got spoiled. I mean, when he landed on the roof, it got spoiled. So he has to, because it was made of thin it was the top, the barricade. I mean, the roof was made of yak dung, and this yak dung they also kept it because of their peasants. They also want it as a fuel in their for fuel. So it was lot of it. It got it fallen down when he landed so forcibly. So he landed it on their roof, and so part of it fallen down. So the peasants were complaining about like because their house got damaged. So his father said like, okay, because even though it was a mistake from a 4-year-old boy, still his father was very strict. Okay, you have to go and refill the fuel for them and make the roof proper. So that's how. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma
Yes, Heetal, any more question?
no, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mukman?
Why is Rampa so very naughty?
Kids are naughty. That's why they are kids. Otherwise, if they are not naughty, then they are not at all kids. What do you say?
Why when Rampa is doing naughty things and his dad doesn't notice, his dad doesn't scold Rampa?
So the last 2 days class, we have told that his father is very busy. He do not have time. He is not spending time with family at all. He's busy in the politics, like looking about the country and those things, because there was a war, and because of that, remember? So yeah, because of that. So he has a nanny. And whenever if someone does, because this is a play time, so during that time, so sometimes they like not always not nannies or parents will be around. So that's a reason, like whenever he went that time, it was an accident. Sometimes like even we as a kids, we like going out, sneaking out, isn't it? Now we sneak out and play on iPads or gadgets. That time it was physical activity. They used to sneak out and go out and play.
Oh, okay.
Understood?
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else, masters? Yes, come on, please give me any kind of feedback, or do you like, let me stop the share. Okay. No, oh, okay. I see. Swarna, yeah.
Sorry, ma'am, it's Gautam.
Oh, okay. Okay, Gautam, that's okay. Yeah, hi, Gautam.
So I think some parts weren't written properly. I felt like some parts didn't make sense.
Is it? What part was it?
It was long time back, but I can't remember really.
Okay, do you have the PDF version with you, Gautam?
No.
I think I think Gangadhar sir would have shared it in our Crystal Children Corner book club. So you ask your mom to download it for you. You can go through it, and whichever you feel like it's not making sense for you, let me know so that we can discuss it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's me see. Okay, a question now. So what the master? So how were the? So did Lobsang Rampa, was he excited about his party? Was he excited, or was he little feeling bad about the party? What was it? Okay, Gautam, yeah.
He didn't like the idea. He sort of did, but I don't think he did because it was all about him and he never had that much attention. So it's new to him because his parents don't really pay much attention.
True, that's true. Yes, well done. So what else I can ask you? So the newborn babies, so they were treated, what do you think? Were they treated badly, or was it okay for you from your perspective?
It was bad. They treated badly.
Okay, good.
Treated badly little.
Yeah, yes, I do agree with you. Okay, now. So how is this session? Are you all guys enjoying it?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So tomorrow it's a very interesting. Okay, we're going to see what food they are going to prepare much more in detail, and let's all join tomorrow at the same time, and we'll meet you tomorrow. Okay, masters?
Yes.
Okay, bye for now.
Thank you, madam.
Bye.
Bye.